Yes. Well, thank you for having me here this morning. My name is Mark Fuller. I'm with Westfield Fire Department. I've been with Westfield Fire Department since July of 2008. In 2022, I became the fire inspector for the city. As a fire inspector, my duties consist of inspecting all Class 1 structures. So just brief what I do. Class 1 structure consists of businesses, churches, apartment complexes, and any public building. If asked by homeowners, I will conduct an in-home fire and life safety inspection. Along with inspections, I assist the fire marshal with community outreach programs. Community outreach in Westfield consists of smoke alarm requests, station tours, emergency planning, and fire extinguisher training. Smoke alarm requests can be simply from replacing a battery to replacing a smoke alarm. Not all fire departments will replace the batteries for you, so please reach out to your local fire department for any assistance. Westfield Fire Department conducts station tours for schools, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, anybody that would request a tour. Along with the tour, we teach first aid, fire safety, and for the kids, we always put on our fire gear. We also go out to the schools, daycares, and talk with kids about fire safety. And of course, we love to show our trucks off. If a homeowner calls and requests a in-home inspection, I prefer to call the inspection a life safety inspection. Simply, life safety issues are missing handrails, loose handrails, trip hazards. Do you have working smoke alarms? Are there any loose outlets? Anything electrical hazard that I may come across? Today, I'm here to talk about emergency preparedness. Let's talk a minute about smoke alarms. According to the National Fire Protection Association, roughly 3 out of 5 deaths happen in homes with either no smoke alarms or no working smoke alarms. The risk of dying in a home is cut in half with homes that have working smoke alarms. All right, question. Those of you today, do you know for a fact that your smoke alarm is going to work in an emergency? Do you test your smoke alarms on a regular basis? Are the batteries in good condition? When was the last time you changed your battery? When I ask people when did they last change it, they tell me, I wait till it starts chirping. Well, for most people, that's going to be about 2 o'clock in the morning. And then we get the call the next day. So National Fire Protection Association, the National Fire Protection Association recommends you change your battery twice a year. So when is a good time to change those batteries? We recommend in the spring and fall when we change our clocks. March 10th is coming up is when we change our clocks. Do you guys have batteries ready to change those alarms? Now, when the National Fire Protection also recommends you replace your smoke alarm every 10 years. When do you know when that 10 years is up? If you pull your smoke alarm down, look on the back side of it, it'll have a date of the manufacturer date. It's good for 10 years. National Fire Protection Association also recommends interconnected working smoke alarms. When it comes to replacing that alarm, what type of alarm should you get? We get this question all the time. There's multiple alarms out there. There's an ionization and a photoelectric are the most common that will be in your house. So which one should you buy? I'm going to tell you a funny story. Remember, I'm a fireman. This past year in January, I was on vacation in Florida. Came home over Martin Luther King weekend. I don't know if you guys remember on Monday, the temperature was about 8 degrees out. So I got home. I just got done winterizing my RV. Cold, tired, about 5 o'clock in the evening. I decided to have a fire. So I start my fire, get it going a little bit, still down there, getting it going some more, getting it good and hot. All of a sudden, my smoke alarms go off. Remember, I'm a fireman. What's the first thing I do? I turn around, I look up at the alarm. I don't know about you guys, but fires don't start on the ceiling. They're usually down on the floor somewhere. So here I'm looking up. My dog is going crazy trying to get out of the house. Again, okay, yep, I'm a fireman. I forgot one simple step. I forgot to open the flue in the fire. The whole point about this, I turned around, I looked up, right? I could barely see any smoke in my house. But the smoke alarm caught it, alerted me right away that it was time. Hey, there's something going on. Do I need to get out of the house? That's what they're there for. Opened the flue up, opened a couple windows, cleared the house out. I was good to go. No other issue than just the fire in the fireplace. The whole point about this story is I have ionization smoke alarms, not photoelectric. It worked very quickly, alerted me something's going on. I may have to exit. Now, along with that, again, we recommend interconnected alarms. That way, if anything happens in any part of your house, all of them will start chirping, correct? Alerting you it's time to get out. Another question we get asked, I just had not too long ago, should I put a smoke alarm in my garage? The answer is no. The garage and attic is a different type of alarm. It's a heat detector. Now, the heat detector can also be connected with your working smoke alarms throughout your house to alert you if anything is going on in those two spaces. The only thing I recommend is make sure you get one with a high enough temperature rating for the attic, because we know Indiana, summer's 90 degrees. We want to make sure up there in that attic you have the appropriate temperature rating alarm, so that way you're not getting false readings. I was expecting to have a little bit more of a, well, you know, stand up here where I could have all this in front of me. So I'm going to kind of wing it a little bit.
At the end.
Yes, I'll be answering a lot of questions at the end. Okay. For the hearing impaired, here's what we recommend. The bed shakers. So at night when you're sleeping, they will wake you up. I don't know if any of you are familiar with them. I know Kathy and your mother are. We've installed 5, I believe, throughout Westfield, to our knowledge, of these, what's called a Safe Awake. There's 2 models out there to my knowledge, the Safe Awake and the Life Tone. I prefer the Safe Awake. For those of you that have them, it's an alarm clock and an alert all in one. It's not a smoke alarm. What it does is when we set it up, I have to alert and set off the smoke alarms for it to detect that what's called a T3 pattern in the smoke alarm. So when that goes off, your bed shaker will go off and wake you up. And Kathy can attest to if it works or not. The other recommendation from the National Fire Protection Association is having strobe lights in your house for the hearing impaired. Now, there's different models out there. You can buy a smoke alarm with the strobe light in it, or you can buy just what is a strobe light, and it can be connected along with one detector. It's all wired in, interconnected. My recommendation would be one in the living space. I would probably not go ahead and buy the ones with flashing lights in your bedroom. You can, though. Okay. How to prepare for emergencies in your home. In the event of a fire, get out and stay out. I know this is the hardest decision those of you will have to make. Never, ever go back in that house. Don't go back in for your loved ones. I'm going to talk about Kathy and her mom. I've been in their house several times. Their bedrooms are on opposite ends of the house. If there's a fire, I've told Kathy she has to get out. Don't go back for mom. Stay out. Have a meeting place. When we show up, let us go back in. When fires start, the beginning stage of that fire, within 4 to 5 minutes, it can reach approximately 500 degrees in the house. The human tenability without fire gear is about 212 degrees. The chances of your survival are 16 to 17% in a burning building. Along with the heat, going back in a fire, you're going to have to come across carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and particulate matter. Again, your chances of survival in a fire are very slim within 5 minutes of going back into a structure. Let us do that for you. With that in mind, if you go back to what I was telling you earlier, the story about my fire, some fires don't reach this degree. You know, if you have a small stove fire, just a small fire, you know, we're all adults. Can we manage the fire? That's your decision. You know, small fire, when we go to Christmas trees, if you have live Christmas trees and it catches fire, get out. That is going to go very rapidly and get to those temperatures where it's not tenable for you very quickly. In the event of a kitchen fire, though, do not hesitate to call us. Even though you think you have the fire out, call the fire department out. Has that fire gone inside your walls? Can you see in your walls? We have thermal imaging cameras that can see in there and see if there's any other heat sources. So please remember to always call the fire department. No matter what, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, we're always here for you. Other types of emergencies, severe weather. I don't know about you, the other morning at 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up to, well, you're up my way. The tornado siren started going off up our way just the other day, about 2 o'clock in the morning. My dog, now she let me know too, she doesn't like the sirens. So as I got up, you know, what was going on, I saw the lightning. Are you prepared for those types of emergencies? What we recommend is having a flashlight. Remember, change your batteries in your flashlight. Same time you change your smoke alarms. Do you have bottled water prepared? Do you have 2 days of non-perishable food? Do you have a first aid kit available? The most important part to have prepared is, and this is coming from Red Cross and other sources I found, have toilet paper and personal sanitation, such as Purell hand cleaner. Now, I want to move on to medical emergencies. This is one thing Kathy mentioned to me to have prepared today. It's called the Vial of Life. The Vial of Life is a great program. It's been around for a long time. You put all your medical information on this piece of paper, put that piece of paper in a Ziploc bag, put it in your freezer. You put a sticker on your freezer or refrigerator door. So when the fire department shows up, or first responders, thank you. Mm-hmm. We see the sticker, we go get your information. Now I'm going to talk about a little bit different program that I prefer. Who today left without their phone? Everybody have their phone with them? I've got two. I carry my work phone always with me, and I got my personal phone. For those of you who don't know, on your phone, there's a way to put your medical information. You can put as little or as much. For those of you that lock your phone, I can still get into your phone. I have my 911 you can call, and also my, what I call is ICE, in case of emergency. My wife is programmed in. It goes straight to a keyboard when I press that emergency info button, but it will not let me dial out. Just 911 and my in case of emergency number. The other option is emergency medical information that's there. In there, I have down a list of my allergies, my medications, my past history, any information that I know a first responder would need. For those of you today that need help setting that up, I can stay afterwards and help show you how to get to that. Each phone is a little different between Apple, smartphones. I just set a lady up the other day in Westfield with all this medical information. The reason I brought it up, I want to pick on you for a second. She was just telling me she's moved a couple times today. She has all of her address information in there on a piece of paper that she carries in her purse. Just like the other lady in Westfield, what happened was I was sitting there going through her medications. After it's been folded a few times and put in her purse, I couldn't make out a few of the letters. Her handwriting, I couldn't quite read. On my phone, it's printed very clearly. The other problem, concern I have is when you handwrite it, there's a lot of medications that will look like the same medication. So a letter or two could change and be detrimental to you. It could be to me if they gave me anything that would contradict medications that I'm taking. So again, I recommend
I
not,
do it in pencil so I can erase.
and that's why I recommend putting it on your phone. I don't know about the rest of you, but who has that file of life with them today? If something were to happen to you today, right here, who has that medical information available? If you're unconscious and that first responder needs it, again, will he or she give you a medication? The other reason, I'm going to bring up a good point. What they talk about in there, they ask for your weight. I know we all may fudge on our weight over time. I tried to. I just had my physical and I looked at it. I was like, yeah, I got to go change that now. The point is, first responders, again, when they give you medication, it's based on your weight. So on there, don't fudge it, please.
Better tell the doctor that.
Well, doctors know that they always take your weight, correct? When you go there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think they look at that stuff?
They do. They do.
I'm gonna have them increase my meds, but my weight keeps increasing.
Okay. Now, I want to go back to Vital Life a little bit. Again, it is a great program. But for those of you today, do you have it with you when it's at home? That's why I strongly recommend putting it on your phone. Okay. Now, I want to talk about a program, and this is where Kathy also mentioned to me she wanted me to talk about the stickers. So in Hamilton County and in Bloomington, Indiana, we have a program called Community Connect. It's growing. It's coming to Marion County within the next year, and it'll be coming to many more counties. I just don't know who's getting ready to have this service. It's throughout the United States, and it's also in Canada. Community Connect is another tool for the fire departments. So when I first met Kathy, we talked about it, and she signed up for Community Connect. If we're dispatched to her house today, we're going to get information that tells us somebody there is hearing impaired. All we have to do is touch a couple things on a screen on a tablet, and we find out not only is there one person, but we have two people at that residence that are hearing impaired. When I start seeing information like that on a house that has kids, it just, I'll be honest, we're supposed to follow 10 miles over the speed limit on the fire trucks when we run lights and sirens. I tend to get a little bit heavier foot, and I go a little faster, especially when I know there's kids or anybody with a disability, because I know they're not able to get out of the house necessarily. So again, this Community Connect is a great tool. You can load information on there such as if you have pets, you can take a picture and put it on there so we know. In there, you can put in there how many people are living in the house. This tool also will send you an email every year asking you, has anything changed? I see the gentleman with the cane today. Next year, could he be in a walker? Could he have more of a disability than just being hearing impaired? As you change, if you're in a walker for surgery, you can put that down temporarily, go in there and change that information for us. It's just another tool to alert us. Community Connect, you can also load in information such as your door codes. So if you have a garage code, we have many people in Westfield that are fall hazards. They trip and fall. They don't need to go to the hospital necessarily. They just need picked up. That's a service we do. We come out, we pick people up all the time. The lady I was talking about earlier, who I helped set up the information on her cell phone, that all stemmed from her falling, laying in her bathtub for 8 days because she didn't want to call 911. We finally found out about her. The police did a welfare check. Her son, her only son, lives in Michigan, 5 hours away. After that trip to the hospital, she came home. She fell again. She only laid for about 2 days this time. That's not good. especially at her age. She's in her 80s. She has a lot of health conditions. And I told her, and she even has a, help by phone, I can't get up button, but she didn't want to press it. She didn't want to be a burden on first responders. I said, please. The second time we just picked her up. We're going to ask you multiple questions, and then for that point, we're going to deem, do you need to go to the hospital or not? We're going to make that decision for you at times. You may not want to, but we're going to tell you we're taking you. The whole reason I bring this up, don't hesitate to call us. And again, the first time we went to her house, we had to force the door. We tore her door up. She had to replace it when we could have simply had a code to get in her house. Now, Community Connect, if you're worried, is a safe and secure system. It is the bank encryption. The whole part of Hamilton County, I can see whatever anybody puts in Noblesville, whatever anybody puts in Carmel, anybody put in some information down in Marion County. If I'm dispatched there, I can get that information. Great, secure, safe software.
Excuse me, do we have to go vote? You would have to download this software?
No, you just have to go to their website. It's going to ask you to put in your address. Once you log in, your email and a password, once you create that, and then that's it. It's very simple. Where do you folks live? West Lafayette. It's not there yet. Community Connection is not there yet. It's coming, I believe, but not yet. I have some other programs for that I'll talk about. So again, simply just having a door code to get in and help people up. Westfield used to be a pretty safe community. I'll never forget the first couple of years I was on the fire department. We just went and picked up this one lady. We go about every shift, pick her up. She left her door unlocked. Westfield is not that safe anymore. With Community Connect, when you give us that door code, I still have one other lady I helped set up information on there. She's still nervous. She lives alone. Her door from her garage into her house, she locks every night. So now how are we going to get in that door? So she's hidden the key out in the garage, detailed information in there, exactly where to find that key. That's how safe this system is and how detailed information it'll take. Other information that Community Connect is giving us as a fireman, when we were to show up to a fire, we get basic information from the assessor's office. In there, we've gotten square footage. We get a little layout in there that shows us exactly how your house was built. How is that information important to us? Well, we show up in the middle of the day, most people are where? In their living rooms. At nighttime, you're in your bedrooms. So if we show up at 2 o'clock in the morning, we focus on bedrooms first when we have to come into a house. It gives us other information such as what type of roof you have. Why is that important? Again, it tells us before I'm coming to a house, well, what tool do I need to get on that roof to do the job I'm required to do that evening? So for those of you that do not have Community Connect in your area, you want a key or give access to a fire department for those loved ones. So for my father who lives up in Huntington, I put on what's called a residential Knox box. This box, it's safe, it's secure, it comes with hardware to mount it. It's not going to take much, about one key is about all. You could get 2 keys in there if you need to for your spring doors and then for your residential door itself. The fire department has to come lock it up. Only the fire department has access to this. I was called one time to a business that said this box got broke into. I told the lady, the manager, I said, there's no way somebody broke into this. She says, yeah, somebody did. So I went down there and checked it out. It wasn't our box she broke into. Once locked up, this isn't going to take a lot to cut to get into. It's safe. It's secure. We've installed probably 10 to 15 up in Westfield. Those are the people that just don't feel safe, want a secure system. It's safer than having a code in the computer because they're worried. This option's out there. It's called Knox. You can go to Knox's website. It's very specific to each department. It takes a key to get into it. There's new technology coming to change that. Again, the advantage is it's safe, it's small, and we know about it. Fire departments know because they're the only one that can get in it. So if you purchase it, they have to come lock it up. So each department may not have that community connect. Will know that the box is there. It comes with a little sticker to put on your front door. So when we come for a medical emergency, we see that there's a little case sticker. All fire departments know what it is. Then they can access that key to get into your house. So along with stickers, I know I was asked for the hearing impaired to put stickers on the windows. I've talked with police departments. We do not recommend putting stickers on your window, on your bedroom windows. Where we want them is at the front door, if you're going to put them on. Because we don't want anybody to know that this bedroom or that bedroom over there, there's somebody that's hearing impaired in that bedroom. That's the key. Safety is number one. I recommend the front door, any door. As a fireman, when we come to your house for a fire, where are we going to come in at to fight a fire? We're not going to come through a window. We're going to come in through your front door, your back door, your garage, any other doorway. It's easier, it's faster. We can get our hose lines in. We can carry all of our tools in. Us walking in rather than going up and through a window, it's safer for us and faster. When we come, we're going to see that on the door right away. And that first couple people going in the fire can alert everybody else to know, where is everybody? You know, we have somebody here that's hearing impaired. Are they out? Back to emergency preparedness. When you leave, as Kathy's noted on Community Connect, where's her place if she goes in the event of a fire? It's her mailbox. That's why I recommend go to your mailbox. So if Kathy's the only one that gets out, her mom's still in that house, she's going to tell us, Mom's in the house. This is where she's at. She's not at this part of the house or that part, down in the basement. Where is she? She's in her bedroom over here. We've got a safe way to get her out. We're going to go get her. We'll always come after you. We won't forget you. So again, my recommendation with those stickers, front door. Don't put it on your bedroom windows.
I wasn't thinking about the hearing impaired. I was thinking about anyone who needed assistance
Exactly.
on the third floor or the second floor.
On the third floor, again, put it on your third floor on your front door. Don't put it on your window. Here's why. When we walk around, we'll never see it. If there's an active fire, we are moving so quickly, I'm afraid they won't see it. On a third floor, if you're in an apartment complex, in a fire, you're going to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to get anywhere from 10 to 12 trucks show up. You're going to get a lot of people very quickly. They all have a job assignment to do. My job assignment when I was still in a fire truck, I drove the ladder. My job assignment was not to extinguish a fire. I went in without hose lines. My job was to search. That was the first thing we do. We'll go into a building without any hose lines and start searching for people. No matter if Kathy tells me her mom's out, everybody's out of the house, we still search a house. Our mentality is, especially with families with kids, well, did little Johnny have little Billy over last night, spend the night and didn't tell mom and dad? We don't know that. So we never go by what somebody's going to tell us. We'll always search. That's why I recommend the front door with any stickers. We go in that front door, we'll know right away. Just gives us a little bit more of an alert that something might be in there. We got to make, a little more heightened awareness for us. Does that make sense?
I'm in a third floor apartment building.
So another thing with fires, as the fire inspector, it's my job to make sure that the buildings are safer and safer every day. We had a house fire about a year ago. Ended up destroying 2 houses. The fire started in the garage. Right on the other side of that wall was a baby sleeping in her crib. The fire went up. 2 cars were destroyed. The attic is completely gone. What woke mom and dad up was, again, it was in the garage. No detector out in the garage. What woke them up was the baby alarm going off, just starting to make some weird noises. So dad went and started checking on the baby. Baby's fine. Didn't see anything. No smoke in the house. He opened that garage door and looked out. That's when he saw the smoke, fire. Quickly shut the door, got his family out. They walked out the front door. No problem. Then the fire progressed before we could get there and just destroy too much. And then, of course, most of the damage is done by the fire department with water, unfortunately. Buildings are built today to such high standards that it's safe. Your apartment is safe. It will hold back a lot of heat. One of the other recommendations we tell people is sleep with your bedroom door shut. As a fire investigator, I've seen a lot of pictures walking down the hallway in your house. You'll see where that smoke is banked down. I can see signs of it along the wall. We'll go to a room that had just that simple hollow core door that was shut. Once you open it, you look in, the bedroom is just fine. Back to that house fire that I had, that baby was right on the other side of that wall where that fire was. 500 plus degrees. It probably reached 12, 15, 1600 degrees in that garage very quickly. That baby was safe. And when we looked on the other side of that house, which had a drywall on each side, the drywall fell off. All the wood framing was clean. There was no charring, no burning, nothing on that wall around their side of where that baby was. That's how safe structures are these days. You're pretty safe. Rest assured, trust me.
I'm not closing my bedroom door.
You're not?
No, I can't claustrophobic.
Oh, do you? That's okay. The key thing
I
is,
think I have the strobe light smoke detector in the bedroom and in the living room.
that's fine.
I think that's true.
Do you have a bed shaker?
Oh, I have the whole works. Have a doorbell that and have a flashing light in the living room. and
Do you change your batteries every 6 months? Do
Bed shaker, a strobe light clock.
you change the batteries?
No, I don't use batteries.
So the smoke alarms do. Your bed shaker,
It has, I could put batteries in, but then the batteries will
I know.
run down, won't they? And they'll leak in the clock, can ruin the clock.
That's why we tell you to change them every 6 months. Remember, firemen, we're our worst own enemy. So our flashlights we carry with us, our guys never change the batteries in their flashlights. I also take care of the batteries at the fire department, or excuse me, the flashlights at the department. The guys come to me and gals come to me all the time saying, my flashlight's not working. When's the last time you changed your batteries? Well, it's not a battery issue now. It's corroded, everything in there. So now I got to give them a brand new flashlight every time. We're typical. We don't want to do it either. We're human. We make mistakes all the time too. Simple things like that from changing batteries. And I brought it up every time. I send out an email twice a year. Change your batteries in your flashlights. They don't.
The electrician, he's got extension cords all over the house. The plumber, his house, his faucet leak. So the fireman's batteries
Are no good.
explode. Hopefully not.
We are.
Sometimes.
Sometimes we're our own worst enemy.
You-
It goes back to, me simply having that fire in my house. So I want to talk a little bit more about smoke alarms again. So key is working smoke alarms. One thing I recommend, technology's gotten a lot better. The one I'm gonna put in my house now will not have batteries that has to be changed. It's good for 10 years. It has a built-in battery that you do not have to change. So for the life of that 10 years, the battery's good. That's what I recommend. It's an ionization smoke alarm, sealed battery. I put it up, it's good for 10 years. That's what's going in my house next. Now, do I have heat detectors in my attic, in my garage? No. Will I put them in? Probably not. For now, I have a dog that wakes me up every time. Any other questions? Yes.
I hate to feel my ignorance. What is an ionization?
So there's two different types, ionization and photoelectric. Each one detects the smoke a little different. Photoelectric, they're both electric, yes. It's just how it detects the smoke particles.
So it's in your system.
It's the smoke alarm itself. Yeah. The best is a combination of two they recommend. I just recommend the ionization. Personally, it works very quickly.
It's not relying on a battery.
It is.
It is.
So again, it's an interconnected. You have to be careful when you purchase smoke alarms. Some will say the 10-year sealed battery. It's just a battery. I recommend wired system. It's electric with a battery backup. So if you lose power, the storms we get here in Indiana, you're going to lose power. That's why we want a secondary source of power. The electric one, the advantage is if that one goes off in the bedroom back there and you're in the living room across the house, they're all going to go off. With battery operated, it's just single point. They're not all going to start alerting. Now there's newer ones with some Bluetooth technology. As technology gets better, I just don't know what's out there with working strobe lights. That's the key for you folks. You need that strobe light during the day, correct? I don't think the strobe light will wake you.
I don't have a strobe light. I just have a bed shaker.
You don't put them in your bedroom.
Not, you
That's
can't.
wake you up.
Now I have to go.
That's what the bed shakers are for. The strobe light is for during the day.
What is this strobe light?
I'm sorry,
What is this strobe?
the strobe light.
Yeah.
So if you look, regular smoke alarm right in the center will have a light in it, and it'll just start flashing to alert you. You know what's going on. So then you're going to be like me when there's a fire. You're going to look up. Oh, it's the smoke alarm. Okay, now what is it? Why is that going off? You know, just because it's going off doesn't mean you need to get out of the house. I have one that when my wife does ribs, sets off the smoke alarm if we don't turn the exhaust fan on. That's the only time. Whenever we do ribs, for some reason, it smokes too much. So it'll set it off. And, you know, like I said, you know, be calm, think for a second, what's going on? And then do you need to get out? Call 911.
I have cathedral ceilings in my house, and the smoke alarm, the smoke detector is way
Way
up
up there.
there. Trying to change those twice a year.
If you live in Westfield, there's somebody that has me on speed dial. She doesn't, and I'll go back. I forgot to mention that with Community Connect. For those of you that don't have it, I'm sorry. You'll hopefully soon will be there. I come out and change batteries. I've been to Kathy's house 2 or 3 times to replace batteries for them.
I'm in Franklin Township,
Okay.
which is near Wanamaker and Beach
Yeah.
Grove.
You can reach, is it Marion County, is it Indianapolis Fire Department? I'm pretty sure they'll come out and change batteries for you if you call them. I go out all the time, replace batteries. My boss has never shied away from letting me take time away to do that because remember what I said, working smoke alarms save lives. The only thing I can't do, smoke alarms, when you go to replace them, the interconnected ones, they have a wiring harness. Those wiring harnesses are a little different between models. I can't change the electrical. There's adapters between models you can get. So if you were to buy a this model versus this model. They do make a little pigtail to interconnect them. You can purchase that, then I can do it. Indianapolis may be different. That's where you need to reach out to your local fire department, find out what they can do for you. I've replaced several. Again, I use that, have them purchase that pigtail, or I give out a couple guys at the firehouse that are handymen, do it on the side, and they can change them out. Did you have a question?
Are we going to get a printout of that?
I don't know.
I think someone had a question.
Because it has so much information in it.
So here's what we're going to do.
I see it.
My business card's up here. You can email me, call me, take it with you. I'll be happy to answer any question you have.
Oh,
You call me.
we've also given information out of ag bid.
I had it all. Yeah, that's okay. Any question you have, I'll go into more detail.
Maybe we can ask Ella if she can get a print.
Yeah, I think the meeting's being saved.
Refresh my memory just a bit. What was the name of the bed shaker that you liked especially?
Take away.
Is it Safe Awake?
I think that's what you said.
Maybe we need to go to the.
Save something, I think it was.
Safe Awake. There's Safe Awake and Life Tone. I thought it was Life Tone. I wrote down here which one I like because again, it has an alarm clock in it. So if you have an alarm clock and now you got the Safe Awake all next to your bedside table, I don't know about you. My cell phone's there, 2 of them. I've got a lamp there. I'm kind of running out of space because they're not so big. So now I can do away with one function. The model we installed for Kathy and her mom, it's an alarm clock, the alert for when the smoke alarm goes off. And the alarm clock will also shake the bed for you, wake you up.
And if it hears a smoke alarm, it'll take off.
Correct.
They can get it through the Red Cross, right?
That's good.
Everything is.
It's the Life Tone,
It should be.
Life Tone model. And we get those through the Red Cross.
Because I couldn't keep up.
So that's where you want to reach out to your local fire department. They can request it to the Red Cross. Red Cross is a great resource people don't know about.
Yes, question.
I believe Paula had some questions.
Yeah, I can just push on it? Push on it? Okay, Paula, can you ask your question?
Hi, I'm Paula Sutton. And are you aware of a couple of alerting devices that are in catalogs that people with hearing loss can order? One is Home Aware System by Sonic Alert. And another is Central Alert by Serene Innovations. And they tether to fire alarms, smoke alarms, CO alarms. I think they must work on a similar basis as the Safe Awake smoke alarm that you mentioned.
No, I'm not familiar with those. They're all designed to pick up the T3 pattern that the smoke alarm makes. They're not connected to your smoke alarm other than the fact when I set them up, I have to set off the smoke alarm. It's on the bed, on your bedside table. It picks up that T3 tone and then it starts to shake. So I'm pretty sure it's probably designed the same way. I have just not come across those 2 models.
Oh, okay. So these types of devices seem to be useful in home settings. And I'm wondering if they're also acceptable in the workplace. I had a situation where my employer totally ignored my request to use such a device in a private office that didn't have a hardwired smoke alarm, and they refused to use this device, but I don't know if they asked a fire marshal if such a device would be considered useful or authorized.
Without knowing your work, exactly which office you're in, a lot of office spaces don't even have to have smoke alarms.
She's
So-
in California.
Yeah.
She's in California.
Okay. Is there smoke alarms in your building? You know, that's the first question I'd have to ask. And usually when there's smoke alarms in buildings, they're not a residential type. It's more of a commercial smoke alarm. Then you have working horns and strobes. So for all the schools, well, such as right here, if everybody looks, that little white little fire thing up there on the wall, that's a strobe. So if the fire alarm goes off, it starts flashing and it will be loud. Some spaces you won't have that horn, you'll just have the strobe light. I don't know, without coming, and I'm not coming to California today, sorry, to check it out, but look into that.
Okay, yeah, I think that they would probably still work. It would sense, an alarm going off in the vicinity, whether it's a commercial device or a device that's in the home, but I'm not positive.
Correct. The only thing is, and that's one thing I forgot to mention with what I've told Kathy, if she were to travel, go to families to spend the night, I recommend taking that alarm with you, that bed shaker. Once you plug it back in though, you go to a hotel, you have to set off the alarm. So in a business with a commercial smoke alarm, you can't manually set them off to get that T3 pattern to connect. So that's
Thank
where,
you.
without being there, looking at what's at your workplace, I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was curious, is this what you're talking about? Okay.
But that's the one I prefer. The one there with the alarm clock.
So they go through one of the deaf and hard of hearing catalogs that they have out there. This is from Maxi Aids.
Correct.
So
You can,
Glow does not have it.
or reach out to your local fire department, see if they can get it through
Really?
the Red Cross.
I'm from Fort Wayne.
Okay. Yeah, I would reach out to Fort Wayne.
Okay.
Because again, we got them for free for Kathy and her mom.
Right.
They're-
It's a good visual to see what
Yeah.
it looks like.
Yep.
Okay.
I had it pulled up and I had a couple links. I just didn't know if I was going to connect, what visuals we were going to have today.
Connects to tornado alarms too.
No. That's the one downfall so far. Yeah. Yeah, it won't pick it up because it's just too far out. I can't set it off to program it. I have to manually turn on that smoke alarm for it to program and connect first time.
Keep in mind that if you have an Apple iPhone, even if it is turned off, you can announce, "Hey Siri, call," I'm not going to give the number, or mine will do it. It will call that number and you can get help. Not too long ago, I fell, dislocated my shoulder. Was on the floor,
And then
could not get up. I tried to call my son. And Siri said, "You have to be turned on to make a call." Oh, I was in pain, not terribly cognizant. Finally realized all I have to do is say, "Hey Siri, call." And it did.
Yeah.
And it worked beautifully. They came, they had to push in the back door and they hauled me off. Went to the orthopedic surgeon. He said, "You have dislocated your rotator cuff. You're 90 years old. You are too old for an operation. You'll never be able to raise your left arm above your head again. I'm sorry." I recommend that very strongly. Now, in addition,
What do you recommend?
that you have an iPhone that you can call even though it's turned off. Even though it's turned off, it will do it. It'll call that number. In addition to that, they're now available one of these that has GPS in it. So if I'm in a car wreck someplace or other, or if I fall down, I fell down not too long ago, again. And this thing went, and said, you have 30 seconds to disable your emergency call. Oh, I pushed the button and turned it off. Very comforting to have that ability.
Technology is great.
Well, I'm a retired engineer, always expect.
Okay. So what I found in Westfield, not everybody, when it comes to that community connect information, setting things up like this, it's not easy. I'm getting older too, and I'm getting better with the computer. I wasn't. I was a guy that would go tear doors down and go in your house and do what I needed to do. That was me. Now, being a fire inspector, investigator, this is my life here, and walking buildings, right? So my wife works for a computer software company. She's taught me a lot. I'm getting better at it. Anybody in Westfield, any of you, I'll be happy to help you set programs up, set your phone up. I know that working your phone is tough. Believe me. How I learned about it, 3 days laying in a hospital. I just came across it on my phone. I was getting bored. And that's where I came across that medical info button. Like, oh, let's put it all here. I did forget to mention, I really plug this versus having the paper. Last year I had 2 surgeries. When I went to the doctor, each one asked me, past burn history. What was the date of your surgery? What are your medications? I was like, oh, great. I can't remember any of that. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do this. Swipe here, touch that, go there, touch it. There. It's all right there. That's how quickly it was. I was like, oh, hey, yep, I had septorhinoplasty on April of 2023, my right ulnar collateral ligament on 6th of 2013, my left ACL. When did you have the surgery last? That's what I can't remember. And now it's all right here for you. Guys are different than ladies. We don't have a purse.
Going to get around to it one of these days.
What happened?
I'm started.
Have that
I'm started.
information
I'm
under
sorry.
your
Medical info. So my phone is locked. This is my personal phone. That's work.
I don't know if that would help.
I touch emergency call. There's the screen that comes up. I can sit here and push all these buttons. Unless I put in the code to unlock it, it won't do anything. Across the top is 911. And then in case of emergency, my wife. Down at the bottom is a little medical info. And again, each phone is a little different how it sets it up. Once I press that medical info, whatever information is anybody can get if they got my phone. So it's up to you what you want to put there. The lady that I set up this past week, she had her address in there. I wouldn't recommend your address. I don't need your address. You know, who's that emergency number? One of your siblings, you know. Sons, daughters, let them call them and get all that information from them. If we got to take you to the hospital, what I need is medications, allergies, past surgeries. My surgeries aren't important if it's a medical. Those are all ligaments, right? But they always ask them, so I put it in there. And again, it's for me because I don't remember. I'm a typical man. That's not important to me. Yes.
In the news recently, they had some things about the fire blankets. And I know some of the stations were dispensing them. Would you happen to be in the station that is dispensing them?
No, because what did I tell you earlier? Get out. Don't forget the blanket. Just get out. Now, the fire blanket, it could be a couple different things they're talking about. Is it for just the kitchen fire? If you have a fire on your cooktop, what do? Don't panic. Just put a lid on it. Simple fire. But don't hesitate to call us. Please have them come out and check it out. It's not going to hurt anything. Then all the neighbors are going to talk about you having all the firemen over, right? It's the first thing they do.
Okay, we have another question. Ella, we'll have to click on it. Ella.
Oh, okay. There's a an app called Smart 911, and it is a national app. And you put your information that's pertinent for emergency workers to have in that. Do you have any comments about the use of that particular app, Smart 911?
I've heard about it. I don't know much about it. Again, where I'm at in Westfield, I am pushing hard on the Community Connect. Everybody in the truck has a tablet. Community Connect.
I have to reread everything
okay.
you said
Well,
when I go home.
I'll talk about it. I didn't bring my tablet in. I can bring it. I got my computer out here with me. The Community Connect, when you put a profile, your profile on there, you can put on there where your gas meter is, where your electric meter's at. Again, that's not important information. Smart 911 is a great program for those of you that don't have Community Connect yet. I know what Community Connect can offer for you and for me. Another advantage with Community Connect for Kathy, instead of having to make a phone call, she can go in there, put in a request for a smoke alarm via, on the internet, do it right there. It sends an alert. I run a report every morning at 6 a.m. So if I'm not there, shift guys are getting it. We're going to come out and help you out. It's that important. Smoke alarms are that important. So Smart 911, I think it gives us information such as, what is a functional need at a house? Yes. But it doesn't give us that other information. It's basic. Community Connect is the wave of the future. It's just a great software. Like you're saying, technology, it's the key. Information is key for us.
You said Marion County didn't have it.
Not yet. They're going to it. I know that for a fact. Within the next year, they will have it. And another thing about Community Connect too, just so you're aware, if you put any information on there, I can look at it, but your neighbors can't see your information. Again, I pull mine up. I can see it all. And I manage it. And again, Marion County, once they go to it, if you need help, if Marion County will come out, I'll be happy to come over and help you set it up. You can take my card and call me in 12 months. I'll come over and help you set it up if you need it.
You think this Community Connect covers a large area?
It's going to.
Is it going to?
It's going to. It's coming to Marion County. Not yet. It's coming soon.
I think I'm in Marion County.
You are.
How do you know?
You told me you lived over at 86 by me.
Okay, you know.
I know where you live. Not where you live.
I told you.
You did tell me.
I scratched myself, made myself believe.
And I've met some guys from Lafayette here just a couple weeks ago. I know they're going to it soon too.
We want you to come to our building, but the manager's dragging his feet because you probably scared the daylights out of all of us.
As a fire inspector, so as a fire inspector over the past 2
Come and
years,
tell him he has to do
I've learned that not to scare people, I'm here to help them. Again, I can't show you, but
I want him to do a fire drill.
in an apartment complex, I don't want to. I don't want to set off the alarms because this goes back to years ago. I've learned a lot as I've gotten older. You set off a simple fire alarm, especially in an apartment building. Well, what if you get that third shifter that was working and sleeping all day? So when do I set that alarm off? Like we try to be, we try to accommodate everybody, especially for setting off alarms. We don't want to. It's going to happen. It's just going to trip itself for some reason. So we don't want to go in and just set alarms off. The other reason is if we start setting alarms off what happens? People get complacent. Oh, it's that alarm again. I got a business in Westfield, McDonald's on 32. I walk in there just to go get a Coke, and their fire alarm's going off at their panel. It's telling them that one of the rooftop heating units is alarming. It's not that it's on fire or anything. It's just not, could be a communication error. Something's not right. It's been going on for about a month. So I go in there about once a week and I ask the manager, when are you going to get that fixed? People walk past that alarm and just don't pay any attention to it.
This building, the fire, the alarm goes off all the time. Nobody comes out of their apartment. I look out and see anybody doing anything. So I turn this off.
See, and that's what scares me. And that's why Westfield, I'm very diligent about getting out to apartment complexes a lot. We've required them to give me that fire alarm report. Anything that's wrong, it has to get fixed. Apartments are too high life. There's too many people in there. Again, it's that third shifter that may be asleep during the day. You've got babies, the elderly's there. Somebody that can't get his arm up anymore. Could you get out in the fire? So I'm very diligent in Westfield. I apologize. I can only cover Westfield. I can't get everywhere. But Marion County has a great inspectors program. They do a lot. Our focus is always high life areas. For the young lady that's out in California, without knowing the size of business, small little business office, I don't focus on so much. The doors, the building's designed for a fire and designed to let them get out. So I may not go to that business every year, but I focus on where most people go. That's our priority.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
Parking managers don't like me in Westfield.
Because they have to spell.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful, thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
We have,
Again, if anybody wants to look at the residential box, I got it. I can lock it up. It's pretty heavy. The BioLife you're welcome to. We don't use them anymore because of the Community Connect now. So please, if you want it, take it. I asked some people where it was. Nobody had a clue. I found it finally.
and for his presentation, we always give out a gift card.
I can't take that.
Oh, we can't
I can't
take
take
it.
that.
Okay, so we'll go back in the pot.
You put it back
For
in.
next time, for the next one. But we appreciate you coming here. So much information.
It is.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's a lot to think about, especially for those that are hearing impaired. I mean, how can you help us? That's the way I look at it. Any information you can give me is just going to help us out.
Yeah,
A
do
lot of us are
drawing.
deaf, but we don't have our.
Drawing.
So that's why that stroke like that makes sense to
Did
you.
you guys put in for the drawing?
It does or does not.
It does.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
And again, they make some that look just like a smoke alarm, but all it is the strobe. So it can be wired in to go off what you have currently now. So rather than replacing all your smoke alarms right now, you need to just put that strobe in. You can do that. That's not in the bedrooms. It's just in your living space. That's when it's mostly alert you, because when we have our bedrooms, go to bed. We're not kids living down there. It was a child, or somebody that, that has some, child in their bedroom. I might put them in there.
It's the paper that we should fill out.
Yeah, we have a
Put it in
drawing
Ziploc
we're doing
bag.
for our members. So
I get a pick.
You can pick.
I
Yeah.
get a pick.
Can't see that. Irene, is that Irene? Did you put Irene on there?
That's Irene.
Yeah, Irene.
Come on,
Wong.
Irene. See why I say phone?
For Panera. Okay.
Right.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
You're
I'd like to
welcome.
see this little sink.
Yeah, vaccine is what he's talking about. To fill out, and put in a Ziploc bag.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right there, right up there.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
See, Good idea.
If you get a calendar.